This is a video on how to construct the centroid. So remember, the centroid is the intersection of the three medians of a triangle. So we just have to construct those medians. To do that, it's actually really easy. So let's go ahead and label our triangle A, B, and C. So let's go ahead and do the medians from vertex B first. So the median at from vertex B will be from vertex B to the opposite side's midpoint. So we got to find the midpoint of AC. So to do that, we're just going to act like we're going to perpendicularly bisect it. So it's going to appear as though we're doing the circumcenter construction when we start. So make sure your compass length is more than half of that segment, and make sure that it's not too big that it's going to go off this paper. Okay, so I'm going to just close mine a little bit and make sure it doesn't go off my paper. Put the point of your compass on vertex C and make an arc above and an arc below. We have to do both in order to get this. Like if it were the circumcenter construction, we'd need both to draw the perpendicular bisector. All right, so now we're going to line it up like we're going to draw the perpendicular bisector. We're acting like we're doing the perpendicular bisector because since it is a perpendicular bisector, it's going to intersect that side at the midpoint. So all we're going to do is line it up like we're going to, and we're just going to mark the midpoint. If you want, you can make a dashed line for the rest of it, but I'm just going to mark that midpoint. All right, we're going to do that for each side. So I'm going to go ahead and do it for vertex A. So I'll be using side B this time. So I'm going to put the point of my compass, try to figure out where it was before, and do it in the same spot for accuracy, because you want to be really, really accurate with the centroid because it'll help when we do the balance activity. Point here. Oops, I forgot to do the below. Below. And I'm just keeping it the same length. It'll work right now. It's not going to go off the paper. It's not going to intersect anything too badly here. Oh, so look, I didn't make my arc big enough for this one. And because I did it at the same arc length, you can see that it actually continues this arc. So you might want to change the arc length so you don't get your arcs confused. But there we go. I'll change it for the next one. Now line it up like you're going to do the perpendicular bisector. And again, we're just going to mark the midpoint. So line it up real nice though. And if you want to use the dashed line to make sure that you hit exactly you want to, or put a line through that, that's fine too. Marks the midpoint there. And then actually what I meant to do was go ahead and draw the median. So let's go back here. I'm going to draw the median for at vertex B. So to draw the median, it's from the vertex to the opposite side's midpoint. So we're just going to draw a line from point B, vertex B, to that midpoint. And we don't have to name the midpoints. So we're just going to draw a nice line. Make sure your pencil is nice and sharp, and that'll give us a more accurate result as well. So that's the median for vertex B. And then we're going to do the same thing for A here. So I just marked that midpoint. So to draw the median, I go from vertex A to the opposite side's midpoint, which we marked right there. And I'm just being very careful because I want to be very accurate with this. Okay, and then we can actually see the centroid already. It's right there. But we are going to construct the third one. So we need to do the midpoint of AB. So I'm just going to turn my paper upside down to do this one. And I am just going to adjust my compass a little bit because I don't want it to be the same. Oh, but this one's going to be tough because you might go off the paper. So I'm going to make sure I won't go off the paper. Okay. That's good. Arc above, arc below. Trying not to get close to the midpoint there. Go over here, find my spot in there. Oh, that's really close to the side. So if that happens, sometimes I'll adjust my compass just because I don't want it to get confusing. All right, and then we're going to line that up like we're going to do the perpendicular bisector, and then psych, we're not going to do that. We're just going to mark the center, the midpoint of that opposite side, and then draw the last median, which will be from point C to that midpoint. And don't force it to go through. Remember, we're going to see how accurate we are. So we want to make sure that it goes through here, and we're ignoring the centroid right now. And then it should go, though, exactly through the centroid. Ugh. Okay. There we go. So I would say mine's a teeny tiny bit off, but I did better on the balance point activity, which I already did. All right, and so that is the centroid. So we're just gonna mark it as P, and I want you to mark that that's the centroid. And just remember that these are medians. Each of these are medians. Okay, and that's it for the centroid construction.